This area is Lake Independence, a constituency within the Belize district. During the 2020 general elections, it had a substantial voter base with 4,863 registered voters, making it one of the most sizable constituencies nationwide. Unfortunately, this region is also recognized for its poverty and gang affiliation. So, how did it get this way? The construction of the Belize capital in 1973 marked a new chapter symbolizing the aspirations of a nation yearning for self-governance and independence. However, the trajectory wasn't without its challenges. Southside areas adopted North American practices, inadvertently paving the way for the emergence of gangs and structural violence. In the 1980s, Lake I was painfully evolving out of an expansive swamp that attracted poor families who laboriously chopped out mangrove trees, dumped landfill on a portion of the land they cleared, and built ramshackle structures from whatever building materials they could hustle. The living conditions were deplorable, and in the 1980s, the alarm sounded that the youth in the Lake Independence area were becoming increasingly violent and lawless. The prediction was that if the situation were left unchecked, Belizeans' lives and livelihoods would be in great peril. During the 1970s, as the South Side faced difficult living conditions due to poverty, a group of men undertook a mission to raise awareness about the state of the pre-independent nation and the community's role in driving positive changes. The UBAD movement emerged between 1969 and 1974, drawing inspiration from figures like Lionel Clark, Evan X Hyde, Ismail Shabazz, Michael Stephen, Jack Jordan, Edgar Richardson, Wilfred Nicholas Sr., and many others, who were influenced by the teachings of Marcus Garvey's UNIA and Islam. In March 1961, Evan X Hyde, then 21 years old, assumed the presidency for the UBAD Party for Freedom, Justice, and Equality. As a propaganda organ of the UBAD, the Amandala newspaper was first published in August of that same year, and it has continued to exist on the same fundamental principles of social justice for people of color promulgated by UBAD 4 decades ago. When it first hit the streets, Amandala was said to be nothing but fire, pure and incorruptible fire, challenging the colonial status quo. In the first edition, the editors defined the newspaper as power to the people, further saying, we have to be able to decide our own destiny, to do our own thing, so that we can gain greater knowledge of self and kind. The newspaper continued to rail against the injustices of the then backward colonial British Honduras with its mantra for freedom, justice, and equality, emphasizing Black and Proud as a cultural philosophy of upliftment for the marginalized Creole and Garifuna peoples. Furthermore, they demanded that African and Maya history be taught in schools, and they expanded voting rights from 21 to 18 years. Pressure came from the government on UBAD, and as they disbanded in the mid-1970s, Amandala took a new direction. The newspaper also began addressing economic matters and job creation in the struggling south side of Belize City, where its headquarters were on Partridge Street. By Belize's independence in September 1981, Amandala was on the brink of becoming the nation's leading newspaper, and by 1989, it pioneered Belize's first private radio station, Creme Radio, followed by obtaining a television license in 2000. Creme Television launched in September 2004, completing the communication complex known as Cremandala, consisting of Amandala newspaper, Creme Radio, and Creme Television. At the corner of Partridge Street is the handprint of the Society of Jesus. The initial Jesuits arrived in Belize from Jamaica in 1851, and they were later joined by a diverse group. In 1887, the Society established St. John Berkman's College in Belize City. The origin of St. Martin de Porres Parish dates back to 1966, initiated by Father Frank Stobie S.J., who established a school in a fast-growing area of Belize City. The site was once a swamp named Prisoners Creek, cleared by prisoners to expand the city. In 1969, St. Martin de Porres was officially established as an independent parish and school. Its name honors St. Martin de Porres, known for advocating social justice, aligning with the parish's commitment to marginalized communities. Father Thomas Throw, S.J., became the first pastor, with Brother Carl Swift, S.J., assisting in pastoral care. Today, the school now educates over 550 children from preschool to middle school, with plans to further expansion. Despite obstacles in funding, the hope is to work toward a new school building. The Society of Jesus has been called to adopt a direction that combines the service of faith with the promotion of justice. This shift was not limited to social outreach, but became integral to the Society's activities. The motto, the service of faith and the promotion of justice, now defines Jesuit identity, mission, and public perception. In 2019, the Father General of the Society of Jesus introduced the Universal Apostolic Preferences to respond to the Church's needs. The preferences emphasize pursuing the greater good across various apostolic endeavors. The imperative to champion the cause of social justice has taken on a heightened significance for the Society of Jesus. St. Martin de Porres finds itself embarking upon a fresh and transformative path that aligns with the second and third preferences, to walk with the poor and to accompany the youth. This new direction is poised to advance the principles of service to faith and the promotion of justice, and address the pressing needs of the residents within the Lake Independence community. In doing so, St. Martin de Porres solidifies its commitment to its core values and positions itself as a beacon of positive change and holistic care for the local population. The convergence of these two influential institutions, one championing Black and Indigenous pride alongside the fight for social justice, and the other serving as a steadfast advocate for the vulnerable and marginalized through spirituality, signifies the beginning of a wide range of possibilities. This alignment promotes a thorough and deep exploration of community intricacies, creating a space for open dialogue that has the potential to bring about significant change. Remarkably, the very realities that Evan X Hyde shed light on during the 1970s persist today, etching their presence within the experiences of the youthful population in Belize City. UBAD's emergence in that era ignited a much-needed exploration of the multifaceted challenges of poverty and adversity. In the Rockville Declaration, members of UBAD and the People's Action Committee admitted, "We recognize that our society was built on violence by our colonial masters, and that our present system is maintained by the colonialist powers. We see the great incidence of poverty, ignorance, and disease in our society as violence perpetrated on the people. It is our duty, therefore, to answer this violence by defending ourselves against it, against violence to the people, violence by the people against the oppressor, against reactionary violence, revolution against any violence. The aspiration now is to kindle a revival of that consciousness, to awaken a new awareness, the awareness that can pave the way for a shift in our way of life." In the aftermath of UBAD's dissolution in February 1974, Hyde found a creative outlet in journalism, concurrently publishing Feelings in 1975, a compilation primarily comprising fiction pieces. Earlier this year, St. Martin de Porres initiated efforts to address social justice concerns within Belizean society. We approached Evan X Hyde for permission to use one of his pieces from his anthology Feelings for a theatrical production. Our rationale behind this decision was twofold. First, we believe that the literature from the 1970s authentically captured the essence of the life in the Lake Independence area during that time, which is also a reflection still pertinent today. Second, our church is actively committed to raising awareness of the challenges faced by youth in the community, as exemplified by characters like John John and Blue in the short story Wajan Jande. These characters, representing themes like injustice, family struggle, the American dream, wealth, inhumanity, and police brutality, all intertwined with love and faith, unveil a poignant exploration. Wajan Jande delves into critical issues such as gang violence, gender-based violence, women's rights, poverty, peer pressure, and cultural spirituality. Evan X Hyde generously allowed us creative freedom to adapt this piece into a stage performance, which promises to be a powerful portrayal of the experiences our youths face. The combined efforts of influential figures in Belize City, starting with Evan X Hyde's voice, are poised to create a captivating and thought-provoking experience at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. This performance aims to shine a spotlight on these pressing issues and stimulate meaningful dialogue within our community. By dissecting this literary performance, we gain the capacity to delve into the intricate roots of the insecurities plaguing our youth due to the relentless grip of poverty. Certainly, the two notable establishments located along Partridge Street each possess unique approaches to catalyzing transformation within the Lake Independence community. One stands resolute in its unwavering dedication to prayer and spirituality, channeling its efforts through a profound connection with the divine. In stark contrast, the other institution, with a laser-like focus, endeavors to reshape the fabric of societal thought processes, aiming for comprehensive shift that extends beyond the community's boundaries and encompasses the entirety of the nation. Despite the apparent dichotomy in their approaches, a common thread of purpose binds these institutions, coursing deep within their collective essence. Their shared purpose is none other than the unwavering commitment to be veritable catalysts of social transformation. Their primary purpose aligns on a significant platform of creating substantial change, confronting injustices with unwavering determination, cultivating peace and harmony in the midst of turmoil, and building routes that guide people towards a rich garden of opportunities where everyone can flourish and succeed, and establishing pathways that lead people to a wealth of opportunities where everyone can thrive and succeed. Despite their different approaches, both institutions possess an unwavering spirit that propels them as effective catalysts for positive change. Their steadfast mission goes beyond individual methods. United, they become a powerful force for good. Their joint endeavor involves an unceasing fight against deep-rooted injustices, with their voices collectively challenging the established order and advocating for those who have been silenced for too long. United in purpose, they forge ahead with unwavering determination towards a horizon where equity and justice prevail. Guided by prayer and empowered by transformative thinking, they navigate the intricate challenges that confront them. As these institutions work together, their combined efforts have a greater impact than what they can achieve individually. This impact isn't limited to the Lake Independence community. It extends across the entire nation, promoting unity, compassion, and countless opportunities for everyone in the future.